Revive, restore to life or consciousness. Now, before I get into this video, I want to clarify by saying these players' careers weren't completely dead, but prior to the start of the 2019-20 season, for the guys we're going to talk about today, it wasn't looking good. And that is for a variety of different reasons, whether it was a younger player whose career looked like it had been completely ruined by injuries, or a veteran player who signed a big contract and seemingly fizzled out. Luckily, they were able to bounce back, and that is going to be the focus of today's video. We are going to take a look at 5 NHL players who revived their careers in the 2019-20 season. But real quickly before we begin, be sure to go follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay connected. I'm sure I'll be tweeting a lot tonight throughout Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. You can also go check out my gaming channel where I will soon be posting NHL 21 content as soon as that game releases in a couple of weeks, so links to all that will be down below in the description. And of course, if you guys are new to this channel and you want to see more NHL content just like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and now let's begin. Starting off the video with one of the more obvious ones, that being defenseman Kevin Shattenkirk of the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's definitely been a roller coaster of a past couple of years for him. The free agency class of 2017 wasn't the greatest. Kevin Shattenkirk was definitely the most sought after UFA that summer, and that is a big reason why the New York Rangers gave him a 4-year $26.6 million contract. Well, that and of course the fact he had been coming off of a career-high 56-point season. As I'm sure we all know by now, things between Shattenkirk and the Rangers just didn't really work. His first year with the team after signing that massive contract only played 46 games. And then last season we saw a pretty big drop in performance and overall production, as Shattenkirk tallied just 28 points in 73 games and was a -15. When your offensive defenseman that you're paying over $6 million isn't giving you much offense, what really is he bringing to the table? And it just didn't really make sense for him to be a part of the New York Rangers as they were in the midst of a rebuild, so they bought him out. Of course, the Lightning then signed Shattenkirk to a 1-year $1.75 million contract for the 2019-20 season, and that signing has honestly worked out great for both the Lightning and for Kevin Shattenkirk. This season in 70 games, Shattenkirk had 8 goals and 26 assists for 34 points. He got back to being the player that we were so accustomed to seeing, and that is just being a productive offensive defenseman. His play also carried over very well into the playoffs, and through 24 games, Shattenkirk has 13 points and has scored a couple of pretty big goals for the Lightning. I definitely think it's safe to say Shattenkirk revived his career in Tampa Bay, and I'm interested to see what's next for him as he is set to become a UFA this offseason. Given Tampa Bay's current cap situation, I would say it's unlikely he returns unless he wants to take another really cheap contract, but in the open market, I definitely wouldn't be shocked if there's a team out there willing to give Shattenkirk a multi-year deal worth north of $2.5 million. He's only 31 and has shown us this season that he has a lot left in the tank. Moving along now, next up we have Tyler Toffoli of the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I was debating on putting Toffoli in the video because obviously his career wasn't really anywhere close to being dead after the 2018-19 season, but it was the worst year Toffoli had production-wise and goal-scoring-wise since he was a rookie, and with the LA Kings being in a rebuild, the future was kinda uncertain. However, this season Toffoli was definitely able to bounce back in a big way. In 58 games with the LA Kings before the deadline, he had 18 goals and 34 points, and after being traded to the Vancouver Canucks, he looked like a completely different player. In the 10 regular season games Toffoli played with the Canucks this season, he was a point per game player, 6 goals and 10 points, and also tallied 4 points in the Canucks 7 playoff games. Now, right now, Tyler Toffoli is an unrestricted free agent, but he has already came out and said his main priority this offseason is to get a deal done to stay with the Vancouver Canucks, and given the way he's played for the team so far, I would definitely say that's a smart move. And on the Canucks side of things, I would definitely say it would be in their best interest to bring Tyler Toffoli back. In my opinion, he kinda completes their top 6. You got Pettersson, Besser, Horvat, Miller, Pearson, and of course Toffoli. Like, there isn't many top 6s in the NHL that is more talented than that group. I'm really interested to see what Tyler Toffoli can do in a full season with the Vancouver Canucks. I wouldn't be shocked if he has 30 to 35 goals and 65 to 70 points, honestly. Continuing on now, we have Valeri Nachoskin of the Colorado Avalanche. Now, he's a player I have talked about a good bit throughout the 2019-20 season because he definitely proved myself and a lot of other people wrong. Following the 2015-16 season for the Dallas Stars, Valeri Nachoskin would return home and play the 2016-17 and the 2017-18 in the KHL before then returning to Dallas for the 2018-19 season. And man, after last season with the Dallas Stars, I really thought his time in the NHL was over. He played 57 games and had 0 goals. I didn't see a team out there that would be willing to take a chance on him and give him even a 1-year contract like the Avalanche did. That move by Colorado obviously has aged very well, and this season Valeri Nachoskin was one of the best role players in the entire NHL. 27 points in 65 games, a +26, he was great on the penalty kill. He also became one of the biggest memes in the hockey community throughout the year, and it wasn't for a bad reason either. It was because of how good his advanced analytics were. A lot of people made the joke that Nachoskin should be in the conversation for the Hart Trophy. Now, he is currently an RFA, but given the way he played for the Colorado Avalanche this season, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't give him an extension. He was a massive part of the depth of that team. Next up on the list, we have Robby Fabbri of the Detroit Red Wings. It's definitely nice to see a player from the Wings come up in a video that isn't about something bad. Taken with the 21st overall pick back in the 2014 draft by the St. Louis Blues, Fabbri came in and had a strong rookie campaign in 2015-16 with 37 points and also was one of their leading scorers in the playoffs that year with 15 points in 20 games. Unfortunately, after that, Robby Fabbri battled knee injuries and was never really able to stay healthy, and then when he finally did get healthy, it was really hard for him to find himself a spot back into the lineup. So the St. Louis Blues did a very classy thing, and I commend them for this. They traded Robby Fabbri knowing that he had potential to a team where he would get a fresh start and have a better opportunity to play. They didn't really trade him hoping to improve their team. I mean, the deal was 1-for-1, straight up for Jacob de la Rose. Obviously, there was no better team to go to than last year's Detroit Red Wings if he wanted an opportunity to play. Immediately after the trade, Fabbri was placed on the top line with Larkin and Bertuzzi and was on the top power play unit where he had an immediate impact. He scored 2 power play goals in his first game with the Red Wings. Overall, Fabbri had a really strong season, finishing with 31 points in 52 games for the Red Wings and was definitely one of the bright spots for that team this season. And not too long ago, the Red Wings rewarded Fabbri for his play with a 2-year, $5.9 million contract extension. I'm really interested to see how his play carries over into next season in what will hopefully be his first full season since he was a rookie. And now the final player we're going to talk about in today's video, Ryan Strome, centerman for the New York Rangers. And man, what a turnaround it's been for Strome ever since being dealt to the Rangers from the Oilers. On a side note, I still can't believe Edmonton traded Ryan Strome in a 1-for-1 swap for Ryan Spooner. I mean, I know Strome wasn't great on the Oilers, but for Spooner, I couldn't even tell you where he's playing at right now. Anyways, back to talking about Ryan Strome. I know I said this video was players who revived their careers this season, but his revive kinda started immediately after he was traded to the Rangers a little bit into the 2018-19 season. He played 63 games for the Rangers after the trade and put up 18 goals and 33 points, and that play definitely carried over into this season, where in 70 games he had a career high 59 points. Now you could look at those numbers and say they are a little bit inflated, considering one of his wingers this season was Artemi Panarin, who was literally one of the best players in the entire NHL, but you still have to give credit to Strome. And while yes, obviously Panarin made him much better, I would argue that Strome made Panarin better as well. Those two displayed some great chemistry for the Rangers this season. It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with Ryan Strome this offseason. He is an RFA and has been subject to a decent amount of trade rumors over the past couple of weeks. However, now that the Rangers have unloaded Mark Stahl's contract to the Red Wings, it should be a lot easier to get a deal done with Strome and also D'Angelo. So that is going to do it for 5 NHL players who revived their careers in the 2019-20 season. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments section if you think I missed anybody. I just wanted to say thank you all so much for the support on the channel lately. It means the world. I hope everyone out there is staying safe, and I hope you all enjoy Game 6 tonight of the Stanley Cup Finals. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. That is the best way to show your support. And as always, if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys all in the next video.